What's one race that you won't date?
Indians.
Indian bitch.
Indian.
Indian.
They're weird.
Indians.
Indian bitches. They're built funny.
Like, they're not really attractive.
I have never seen a group of people struggling so much to get laid in the West as Indians do. This video is a black pill analysis of why is it so. If you're someone who gets easily offended, I would advise you to leave this video right now, because I'm gonna be brutally honest and I won't sugarcoat anything. Now I can show you a whole bunch of data and statistics proving that Indians are the least preferred race when it comes to dating. But it would be a waste of time because we already know this. You can probably guess by my accent that I am also Indian. I have many relatives who live in Western countries, namely Canada and the USA. And personally, I have lived in India for almost all my life, so I am a very good candidate for making this video. And also I have pretty good knowledge of the black pill community, and I am fairly good at analyzing faces. I have watched this video from Nero Angelo in which he talks about why Indians are unattractive and perform poorly in dating. Although I believe this analysis is pretty good, but it isn't quite complete, because I don't think Nero Angelo has met enough Indians in his life. So there is a popular saying in the West that Indians smell like curry. Now I don't know if Indians smell like curry or not, but they definitely smell very strong. Well, some of them do, and I believe it is due to the diet, the excessive amount of spices in the diet, and also due to the genetics. Genetics play a huge role in how you smell. For example, in Korea, people have little to no body odor due to their genes. Now this might sound red pill, but game is really important to attract women no matter what the black pillars say, and most Indians have got none of it whatsoever. And let's be honest, the stereotype of that nerdy loser kid is not totally false. Sex is a taboo topic in India. The average age of losing virginity in India is 23. Can you fucking imagine that? Having a girlfriend or even talking to a girl is seen as a very bad thing by Indian parents. Because of this, Indians have no clue on how they should talk to a girl. Indian parents deprive their children of their sexual needs, and because of this, the sexual needs come out in the most horrible of ways. Okay, now I would like to talk about the physical aspects of why Indians don't get laid in the West. So first one is obviously height. Indians are shorter as compared to white men. The average height of Indian men in this generation is probably like 5'7", 5'8", and while for white men it's more. Okay, the next thing is body type. Indians are typically skinny fat, which means they have low muscle mass and high body fat. And this is because of two things. The first is genetics and second is the diet and the habits. So about the genetics, we can't do anything. Let's talk about the diet. Indians typically eat a high carb and low protein diet. So because of less protein, they are not able to build muscle, and since the amount of carbs are high and also the fats are pretty high, that's why they store more fat in their body. Also, they store more fat around their abdomen regions, due to which they have a bad shoulder to waist ratio. Indians typically have skinny wrists and their joints are pretty small. Also, they have a lot of body hair and they don't even care to shave it, because of which women find them gross. Okay, now we have arrived into the most important part of this video, which is the face. Indians typically have a small skull size, which is unattractive on men. Notice how Chico is looking way better than Sean O'Brien in this picture. It's just because of the skull size. Otherwise, these two are kind of equal on the PSL scale. Larger skulls in men are associated with intelligence and attraction. So about the face, first we'll analyze the eye area, because I think that this is the weakest part of Indians' faces. So Indians typically have large rounded eyes, which is attractive on women, but it's totally unattractive on men. A more compact and horizontal eye shape is preferred on a man. Okay, so the second flaw in Indian eyes is the large amount of upper and lower eyelid exposure, which I believe is due to the genetics and also due to the chronic lack of sleep, because Indians sleep pretty less and I have data for it. Indians are the second most sleep deprived people in the world, second to the Japanese. Okay, the next flaw is that Indians have bug eyes, which simply means that they aren't deep set into the skull and they seem to bulge out of the skull. Okay, this may be a little bit exaggerated, but you kind of got my point. Okay, the next point is that Indians have droopy lower eyelid, which is again something which is linked to lack of sleep and maybe also aging, but I do think there is some genetic component to it. Okay, the next point is also related to the eye area. We are gonna be talking about eyebrows. Most Indians have untamed eyebrows. They don't care to even threaten them because they see this as something which is feminine and gay. I don't know how a thing which can attract girls can be feminine and gay to you. Coming to the mid face, Indians have low set cheekbones and their cheekbones are almost flat and are rarely visible. The mid face ratio is too compact, way lower than 1 is to 1. Also, overall, their face is pretty compact in a very undesirable way. The next flaw is in the ears. Indian ears seem to stick out a lot, which is essentially a flaw. Okay, the next flaw is that Indians have a puffy face. Even if Indians are at a low body fat percentage, they seem to have puffy faces, and I believe it is due to the amount of carbs in the diet and also due to the genetics. And also, the hyoid skin, which is the skin under the lower jaw, is not tightly chugged in as it should be. Okay, now this might be controversial, but who cares? Well, majority of the people don't prefer the dark brownish skin color, and most Indians are dark brown in color, and even Indians themselves don't prefer dark brown people in color. And the trend has gone so bad that skin lightening creams are extremely popular in India. And also, most Indians have greasy skin, which is unattractive. And I believe this is due to seed oil consumption because most Indians cook their food in soybean oil. So, what's the conclusion of all this? Well, your aim should be to look smacks so that you look very different from the average Indian because neither Indian women want the average Indian men or the white women. Okay, so after hearing all this, I believe that you guys want to look smacks. Guys, I'm gonna upload a very detailed looks maxing guide for Indian men, but you have to do a thing for me. You have to take my channel to 10,000 subscribers. If you take my channel to 10,000 subscribers, I would upload a Indian looks maxing guide which would be at least 1 hour long because I have gone into detail about looks maxing and you guys can completely trust me because this is how I look. This is just front camera, no editing whatsoever. So till then, bye bye, see you guys in the next video.